6 days for all of that, huh? Hey guys, I'm Angela and welcome back to Hobby Night and day 6 of Warhammer Fest 2021 online, day 6. Holy cow, we finally made it, we got through. Let's talk about today's reveals.
Three brave soldiers went to the bog. One disappeared right into the fog. Two brave soldiers went to the mire. One disappeared from around the fire. One brave soldier went to the fen. None of the soldiers were heard of again.
And the big reveal for Saturday is Age of Sigmar 3rd edition, which honestly, I mean, we kind of knew that was coming, so it doesn't really feel like that big of an announcement. I mean, it's really cool that they've officially said it, like, hey, yes, it's on its way, and we even know sort of, kind of, what might be coming in the box. So they showed us a short trailer, which I thought was pretty cool. I liked the City of Sigmar like characters having the story and everything, and then being surrounded by the beasts, which is the focus of this next Age of Sigmar edition. They're really going to be focusing on the realm of the beasts and focusing on destruction, which is really cool and kind of expected. With the announcement of the Broken Realms Kragnos book and him coming out as being a god for the beastmen, or not the beastmen, sorry, the destruction folks and everything, it definitely, I'm not surprised by this announcement and everything. I originally, when I first saw the trailer, when it was like going through and everything, I actually thought initially it might have been leaning towards the vampires being in there, because the tone that they chose to like narrate the piece in, and then some of the imagery still felt a little bit still vampire-y to me, but it's really cool that they're focusing on the destruction and beasts and everything. Now, along with this new box set, we also got a couple of miniatures revealed, and one of them is a stunning new character model for the Sigmarines, and her name is Yndrasta the Celestial Spear, and she is absolutely just gorgeous. I love the way those wings look. It doesn't help that they painted them in this really just like pale, like blue gray to light blue, like just color scheme, and it just goes with the sort of silvery, goldish armor that they've been doing, which I've really been focused on this like gold silver mix for my metallic hues recently. So I'm really gravitating toward this model a lot. She definitely could be, I think, a great conversion for Sanguinus. A lot of people in chat were like exploding about that and being like, oh my God, we're gonna use her as Sanguinus and everything. And I think that's totally doable. I think you just have to remove a couple pieces and it would easily very much work. And it'd be nice to have a plastic Sanguinus conversion to be able to work with and everything. I also think it's really funny that they just, I feel like she is a little bit of them just taking like Celestine or that type of character and just like plopping them into Age of Sigmar. But it's gonna be interesting to see what they're doing with all of this, because the Sigmarines are getting some upgrades as well, because some stuff is going on with them, and it's all tied into this new edition. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other models that they showed. Hey guys, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button and let me know about it down in the comments. If you haven't already and you're wanting more content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon for notifications. And then if you want even more hobby goodness, make sure to follow me on Instagram or Twitter at hobby_night. Now, let's go ahead and get back to the video. We also got the announcement of the Stormcast Eternals Vindicator. They're basically Primaris Stormcast, okay? Basically, everything is getting Primaris. The orcs have gotten it. The Space Marines obviously got it, and now the Sigmarines are getting it.
What about the Chaos Marines?
You know what?
God damn it!
I know, like, where are our 2 wound Chaos Marines, GW? Just where are they? But these models are pretty neat. The Vindicator is the least of the ones that I'm excited about. Although I will say, when they were talking about this particular model, because they stood on like one image of him just like standing there in the classic color scheme and everything for a really long time, and it's not, I mean, it's a cool model, but it's not that exciting. It's just a guy holding a spear. But when they switched to some other schemes and some other pictures, they showed some other color schemes, and I actually have not seen. I've not actually seen that many like Age of Sigmar players in the wild, actually, in real life. The store that I play at doesn't have a huge amount of them, or at least not that I've seen playing. So I've actually not seen very many alternate like color schemes for these particular models. I almost only ever see the classic GW, suggested color scheme. And so seeing some other designs was really rad. I want to see so much more of that. I love seeing people explore doing different stuff with their models and doing different paint schemes that are just non-traditional or whatever. So I was really excited to see that, especially since these models, like, overall were not super, super thrilling to look at. Now, the one that I was a lot more excited about is the Stormcast Eternals Annihilator. He looks so cool. I love the big chonky armor. He's essentially going to be a Stormcast Eternal Terminator, because he's gonna have, I think, a 2-up save they mentioned. And he's got basically a Thunderhammer and Storm Shield if you look at him. I mean, they don't call it that, it's called something else, of course. But
it literally has lightning bolts on it.
It really does. I mean, I know that they are lightning
Thunder,
like, but it's
Storm Shield.
It's the same thing. They are just Terminators, and it looks really cool. I would love to be able to use these as like a conversion for, like, I don't know, honestly, Dark Angels or something, because I feel like with the lion symbology, it would go with that. So I don't know, it'd be really cool. I can't wait to see some of these new Sigmarine models come out, because I know it's been a while for those players since they've actually had some releases. That being said, I feel like this release announcement day was fairly lackluster, because we got essentially 3 models, 2 of which were some cool new troops and everything, but it wasn't like super thrilling. The character is gorgeous, but they've given us like 1 big character each day, which has been fine, but I don't know, I just feel like Warhammer Fest could have been done in 2 days over like 2 2-hour periods. I just feel like there wasn't that much that they actually had to talk about that actually made spending all this time on it like super worth it. Like, the best thing honestly about it for this whole event for me personally was not so much watching the reveals, because most of what they had I kind of anticipated being a reveal anyways. It was actually just being able to do the news each week and then talk with you guys in the comments and like on Instagram and Twitter and all of those places, all the social media places that I am, and just talk about the reveals, see what's going on, like what your guys' thoughts on them were, what your plans for some of the models were. Like, that has been the best part for me. And I wish that, like, they talked a lot about community in these presentations and everything, and about how they were really excited about being able to share Warhammer Fest with a much broader audience that they normally wouldn't be able to, because of the fact that it's normally a convention, and so like you're limited to like room size capacities and everything like that. And even barring, COVID issues, there's still only so many people you can fit into a room, right? So they really enjoyed seemingly being able to do this, despite, I assume, the aggression sometimes that chat threw at them, which is, hit or miss or whatever. But like, it just feels weird that they didn't try to focus it better and make it feel a little bit more worthwhile, because right now, to me, it just feels like it kind of was a waste of people's time to spend like an hour of each day doing this when it could have just been done in like a day or 2. Now, that being said, I still had a blast with it. Like, there were some very cool models. There are some things that I'm very excited to see come out. It's nice to have some confirmations of a couple of things being next in line for like releases and everything. I really wish at one point they would give us like actual release dates during these types of things. I know that they never will. I am fully aware that they never will, but one day it would be nice. Oh, and then the one other thing that I wanted to definitely mention that they talked about is there will be 2 other preview days like this that'll only be a single day. I think it's going to be like their Saturday normal stuff that they do in the month of May, because they have some additional announcements coming. I'm going to be very curious to see what those actually end up being, because I felt, like I said, that this was very lackluster overall. It was stretched way too thin, and I'm curious if like whatever reveals that they have coming down the line in this next month, if they had just added it to these days, would it have made it feel better? Like, would it have made people maybe like less upset about not getting some of the things that they had maybe expected or had wanted to be addressed? Who knows? But it's been an interesting ride. The one other thing that I will say about today's event is the fact that and I didn't expect them to, I just want to be very clear, I did not expect them to address Cursed City, but they did not actually touch on it at all. And that is a little bit of a shame. I kind of had hoped that maybe they would. And there were a couple of points when they kind of got like a little bit more like somber and everything, where they may have seemed like they were going to talk about it, but they never did. And I really wish that they had. But it is what it is. It was a great event. There were some great new minis. I'm especially looking forward to those orcs because they look spectacular. Speaking of orcs, there were a couple of announcements outside of Warhammer Fest that I want to cover real quick, and one of them is a brand new Painboss, and he looks awesome. Okay, the helmet is great. I love the way that his face looks. I don't actually understand how he sees anything to be able to do, surgery and work on his boys, but I'm not going to question that. I'm just going to assume that through orc logic and finesse, it works. He also has like a bunch of like little squig bits all over the place, which is great. I just think, especially the one that sort of functions as a IV or whatever, like I love it. It's a great little just like add-on little detail that just adds some flavor, which is fantastic. Plus, I also really dig the fact that he's got the mechanical sort of like animalistic legs. I imagine he can like jump really well, and this continues to just prove to me that these orcs feel very themed after like, oh my gosh, what is that game with the redheaded chick? Horizon Zero Dawn, exactly. Like these guys feel so Horizon Zero Dawn to me, and I absolutely love that. It's partially the white paint scheme with the red, but not only are we getting the Painboss, he's going to be coming with a little assistant who is also got a like uniwheel leg like mechanic, like the squig that we saw earlier in Warhammer Fest, and I just love this design. It is so darn cute. It is really on point for the orcs. I feel like this is not specifically new for them, but I feel like it's been a while since we've seen an emphasis on this particular aspect of their design elements, and I'm really digging that they're bringing it back. There's just a lot of stuff going on with the orc line right now that I'm absolutely loving, and I really want to get this set and pick up that other big box set and everything. And I really just like, oh, do you think if I paint the little Gretchen red, you think it'll go faster? And finally, the last thing that we had announced this week is the STC line of synthetic brushes that honestly, I absolutely hate. Like, I am not looking forward to these brushes at all. I don't like white bristled brushes because they immediately get stained. It doesn't matter how much you clean them, especially if you use like reds or like purples or greens or blues, or basically all of the colors that I like to use the most. Like those colors are going to stain these bristles, and I just don't like it. Like it's
Angela, you can use brush shampoo to clean them.
Yes, and I'm sure that will do an okay job, but like normal bristles get stained, synthetic ones are going to get stained worse. So like, it's great that they have this new line coming out. They are really, really focused on the fact that they're white bristled brushes on the article. And I'm like, I don't understand why you're making such a big deal about this. I don't know a single person that likes having pale bristled brushes because of the staining problem, because it always makes your brushes feel dirty. And I use contrast paint, so I'm like, really worried that this is just gonna get like, they're just gonna be destroyed immediately. So I'm probably gonna pick some up to still test them because I'm a masochist like that and I like to cause myself pain. But like, I'm really not thrilled by them. Let me know what you guys think. How are you feeling about them? I know some people really dislike synthetic brushes, just like as a whole. Some people are just very, aversive to them and everything. I'm not one of those people, but I still just really don't like the look of these brushes. Like, again, tell me what you're thinking about them. Are you gonna be using them? I'm at least gonna try them out, but I'm not holding out high hopes for them. All right, that has been it for Warhammer Fest. It was 6 days of Warhammer news. So there's not gonna be any news tomorrow. We're done. We've got it all covered and everything. So we'll be back next week and everything for more news. There will also not be a painting video on Monday. I'm giving myself a little bit of a break just because of the filming schedule this week. Now there will still be a video up Monday. We're just gonna put up a compilation of the best of Warhammer Fest from the news this week. So be looking forward to that. I have been Angela. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being with me through this Warhammer Fest adventure, and I'll see you guys next week for some more videos. I've been Angela. You've been watching Hobbit Night. See you next time.